at any age. In this video, I'm going to show you how just some basic things that you can do to improve your overall strength and the power that you generate when you strike for self-defense. You can do punching strikes, you can do elbows, you can do knees, you can use your head if you have to for self-defense, or you can use a self-defense tool like a self-defense cane, a staff, a pole, an umbrella, whatever you use to defend yourself. You can get stronger for it at any age. So I want to talk about first warming up properly. So with your arms out, circles forward, fingers down, just going in a forward motion. When you're trying to get stronger for self-defense at any age, you need a proper warm-up. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, D-Mac. You're going forward. Your thumbs are going to come back. You're circling back. I want you to warm up the shoulders, the wrists, the elbows in this motion, and then you're going to pull your hands across the body and turn your palms up as they come back. You're warming up your body as you practice your self-defense moves, or you do the self-defense exercises that get you stronger for self-defense at any age. You've got to stay safe from injury. If you injure yourself, you're not going to be training. As you turn here, I want you to lift the heels up on the opposite side of the foot so you get a nice, full, deep stretch. You're just turning around your spine, getting the blood to flow. You're getting the synovial fluid and all the joints moving. Hello, Patrick. Both Patricks come in about the same time. Hello, both Patricks. You're coming up and back to the side like a big golf swing, and now bring your hands forward in a big motion. Your range of motion will be different than mine. Mine is different than yours. Don't make any comparisons. Remember this saying, comparison is the thief of joy. You want to lose your joy, your happiness? Start worrying about what you don't have instead of what you do have. Don't compare yourself. Just look at what you've got and move forward from there. Hold it like this. Hello, Alp. It's good to see you. Your wrists are going to warm up here. Your fingers are up and to the side, and then switch them. Go the other way. Because you do a lot of striking, a lot of elbows, a lot of palm strikes in self-defense, I always like you to warm up the wrists properly. Turn the palms up. You're going to bring them close to the body and turn as you go back. You're coming to the front and the back. Hello, Garen. It's good to see you. Yes, Garen says good morning to the Global Virtual Dojo. We're all here training together. Yeah, the shirt does match the title. I wear this shirt because age is just a number. And I wanted to tell you this story as we warm up. Turn the hips. About 8 years ago now, I think, I had a man in his late, hello Lugo, good to see you. Yes, R.I.P. Lugo's in Ireland. He says, God save the new king. Rest in peace to the old queen. So you're going in circles. So about 8 years ago, I had this older gentleman come in his late 60s. He had his chest split open, massive heart attack, and had a lot of pain all over his body. He didn't move very well. He was very slow. He was frustrated with how his body had changed as a result of age, what he called age. I said, it's not age, it's lifestyle, and then we started to work through it. That was 8 years ago. Today, he moves better than most 40-year-old students that I work with who've been training for a little bit. He's been training for 8 years. He's now in his 70s, closely moving on to his 80s, not his 90s, but he became extremely fast, fit, strong for his age, compared to his age group, and he did these basic exercises we're doing right now. Now from here, I want you to punch across the body, reach and stretch, pull your stomach up and in. One of the challenges that this gentleman had was flexibility. We got flexibility not through long static stretching, but by starting to re-engage muscles in his body that he hadn't been using for a while, all through exercises just like you're doing right here. Turning your body, lifting the heel, then I want you to punch up and across the body. One of the greatest things that I've learned over time, this has to do with age, is that as people get older, as we get older, our brains become less flexible, and it's usually not anything else other than the fact that your body becomes less flexible and the body and the brain move together. So when your body becomes less flexible, your brain becomes less flexible, you get cranky faster, you tolerate less, you learn new things less, you don't get out of your comfort zone. Bring your knee across the body if you can. If not, just lift it a little bit. So as this man's body became a lot more flexible, his thinking became flexible again, his perspectives became flexible again, he was able to rephrase a lot of things, and regain a lot of peace and happiness. You can't have peace and happiness with an inflexible mind. Now from here, I want you to jog in place, and if you can't jog in place, just walk in place. This is something I'm going to show you all throughout this workout. As we get stronger for self-defense, age is just a number. You have to listen to your body and allow yourself to either make it easier or make it harder. Either way could be correct, depending on what you need. And some things you'll make easier, some things you'll make harder. You can jog in place, jog in place. If not, just take steps. Once you do this for about 30 seconds, then start moving side to side. Just step out, bring the other foot over. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you need to slow it down here. When you need to, speed it up. Studer, thank you for that generous gift. It's very generous, I really appreciate that. Bring your foot from side to side. When you're ready, after some workouts, maybe today, maybe at a future time, you can speed it up. This is one exercise. I was telling you about this man, he started when 68, 8 years ago. He could barely walk without falling over, and he couldn't walk for a long distance, and he certainly couldn't move from side to side. Now he's very spry, and he moves about this quickly, and he's very smooth with it. But when he started, it was just a step, literally going back to baby steps. Just taking one step over, and even that he was struggling with. He struggled a lot from that. Good, huh? Oh, good. Studio's back to work, he's cleared to train. So you're going side to side, welcome back. It's always good when our bodies start to feel better, I know that. From here, then I want you to step in with a little lunge on one side to the next. This whole warm-up will also strengthen your body and start to get your body moving in a way that you need to defend yourself. Stronger strikes, faster strikes, being able to move out of the way easier, become less of a victim, less of a target. So you're just stepping in, you're bending a little bit. And listen to your body. If you want to go long and deep, go long and deep. If you need to go short and shallow, keep it short and shallow. Then take a small step back. There's the mirror. Small step back. Notice that your hands are coming up here in a protected position. That's also for better balance. And again, if you need to slow it down, slow it down. If you need to just take a step back, take a step back. If you need to hold on to the back of a chair, hold on to the back of the chair. You can do all these exercises side to side, holding on to something. The point is to start moving. And don't criticize yourself. Get your ego out of the way. Don't say that you should be able to do more, and because you can't do a full push-up, you can't do a full push-up. Now, after we've done this basic warm-up, side to side, your whole body should be warm. You should be breathing a little bit harder now. I want you to stretch your legs apart and go down and up in a slow squat. This is another area where you can hold on to the back of something to allow yourself more mobility. Push your hips back in a way so that they go back behind the knees and not in front of the knees. So this is, if you haven't done it before, this is pretty common. I see this a lot, but I want you to really throw your hips back as you go down, pushing your hips behind. And again, your hands are coming up, and that's for good balance. That's also to keep your upper body straight, for good posture, good technique. And if you can, go lower, go lower. You can go all the way down, go all the way down, so that your upper legs are parallel with the floor. If you need to go just a little bit, go just a little bit. But you have to, Garen says, also lowering yourself partially as you step. You can also step back in those lunges and go lower than you could if you were just doing it without holding on to something. So allow yourself to hold on to something. We're not gonna do push-ups in this workout, but if you wanted to modify, one of you said to me over the weekend, Coach, I can't do push-ups. I said, that's okay. You can't do push-ups yet. You don't have to even do them ever on the floor. If that's not something that's gonna work for you, lean onto the counter or the table or the back of a couch. Or if this is too much, go onto the wall. Put your hands Put your hands against the wall, bring yourself in and push yourself out. It's progress. You want to make progress, not perfection. Age is just a number, means progress, not perfection. And I promise you, you keep moving in that same direction, the direction you want to go, you will be able to do an amazing amount of work. A lot of students, it's not just the one guy who's 68, he's now, 8 years later, he's 72, is that right? No, 76. He's in great physical condition. He's stronger, faster, more agile than most younger people that I work with, people half his age. He's able to work circles around him because he does these exercises. But where he started was completely inflexible, no endurance, he had lost most of his strength from he had a heart attack, his injuries. He's regained all that and surpassed it. He's stronger now than he was 20, 30 years ago. And you will too when you take this idea, age is just a number. Don't limit yourself. I don't know what you can do. You don't know what you can do. Only God knows. Now, I wanted to talk about some tools that you can use. And if you're interested in seeing more information, the details about these tools, they're in the link below. First one, my favorite exercise to get stronger for self-defense are bands, because this will develop not just muscle power, but it's also going to create more explosiveness when you strike. And if I have the 3 here so you can see. Yeah, Garen says, how about more training for old man strength? We'll do that. I love doing that old man strength workout. I'm going to show you more of those, Garen. Maybe in the next couple days I'll do an old man, because I have an old man tool we're going to talk about here in just a second. 2 of them that give you real old man strength. Old woman strength. This band, because it's thin, has the least resistance. This one has the most. This is somewhere in the middle. Now you can use a band like this. I want to show you one of my favorite ways you're going to get stronger for self-defense, and it's an overall body exercise. You're going to step on it, 1 foot on each side, curl, your palms are down, curl your elbows inside the band, and just squat and stand. And again, a little bit is enough to start with. You can go more, or you can also add this explosive press, military press at the top, getting your whole body in. As I've done these in class, I'm often told this is called the Tom Brady, because he demonstrates this and then on his channel or something, I don't know. We just jokingly call this the Tom Brady here when we're working out together. So you bend the knees and you press and try to go for time under tension. Don't worry about numbers of reps. Oh, good morning, Awkward the Cats. Good to see you. See how long you can do it. Go for 10, 20, 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a good long limit. 45 seconds would be best if you can get it up to 45 seconds. And then rest for a minute. Do another 45 seconds. Rest, do another 45. The next thing that I want you to do with the band is you're gonna anchor it somewhere. I'm just gonna anchor it here around the bag. These bands are great because you can anchor it anywhere. Take your opposite hand, you're gonna twist and twist. I want you to get stronger for back fist self-defense, stronger for punches, stronger for palm strikes, stronger for elbows, stronger for knees and kicks. And that all comes through the transverse plane, which means activating your core muscles, coming off the floor, twisting and turning. And so one great way you can do that is punching with your hand there. But I think probably the most explosiveness you're gonna get is gonna come, exhale from this turn right here. And go for 45 seconds, give yourself a minute to catch your breath, bring your heart rate back down, and then turn. And another 45 seconds on the other hand. The third thing that I want you to do is gonna go with we're gonna go with the lightest band that you've got. So if you have more than one, this is a great one. Hello from Israel, it's good to see you. We've got a multinational group here this morning in the virtual dojo. Your hand is here. You're gonna step on it. Bring your elbow inside. If you bring your arm out here and press, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on the shoulder, and I want you to protect your shoulder. I want you to bring your elbow in so it's in line with your head and push up from here. Now this is not as much resistance. You can see the band is coming over the outside of your arm. It's on the same foot, your right hand, your right foot. and you're pushing straight up. A lot of the punches that we do, a lot of the strikes, a lot of your elbows are gonna come through the shoulders as it comes through the whole body. And so I want you to build real power, real strength and stability, strong, healthy shoulders. This will also activate parts of your chest, your triceps, stomach up and in, abs tight, drop your chin. And making an explosive move. The reason I have you working with bands first is I want to build your explosiveness. So when you get stronger for self-defense, your strikes are all harder. Now, some people have a hard time understanding, and then put it on the other hand, 45 seconds per hand, have a hard time understanding how this exercise will connect to your strikes. And I want to make it as simple as I can understand it, as I understand it. One, if your muscles are stronger, if your ligaments are stronger, if your bones are denser, if your body is healthier, when you strike, you're gonna hit harder. You have more density of muscle, there's more weight there behind your strike, you're hitting harder. So that's number one, that's the most obvious. The second is when you teach your body how to push off of the floor and go through the strike. So when you're punching and you come off the floor and it's a palm strike or a punch or an elbow and you're pushing your whole body weight into the attack, you have a lot more power. You're stronger for self-defense. And that's where age is just a number. And that's where old man's strength, old woman's strength comes in. Because if you can take what you have naturally and multiply it with proper technique, proper delivery of the attack, an extension, rotation of the shoulders and hips, an acceleration by moving your body into the attack, you will hit a lot harder than somebody who's half as old and who's in big muscles. You can be half their size, literally, and still knock them out, and still hit harder than they can because they're slow and they don't know how to use the muscle. They know how to lift the weights or use the machines in the gym. They don't know how to throw a punch. And they haven't worked with the bands to develop that dense muscle fiber and that explosiveness and using the whole body to push and to strike. And that's what you're learning here. So bands are the first way. I like to use this one because I've been doing it for so long. For my twisting, you can see this is a lot of resistance. The more twisting you get in there, the more resistance you get, the more powerful those palm strikes, those elbows, knees, punches, everything's gonna go through. Yeah, Garen says use the earth to hit through your body. You're literally gathering the energy. If you went from an Eastern perspective, from Qigong or Tai Chi or Kung Fu or some of the old, karate or whatever, you're lifting that chi energy is coming off the floor through the earth, you're channeling it, you're striking. But from a practical Western perspective, just think of it as you're pushing off the floor. And when you start with the bottom of your foot, every muscle in that foot activates and fires, and it comes up through your legs and then through your hips and through the spine and through those big chest muscles and arm and back muscles, and then you hit them, and then it's all concentrated right there, or right there, or right there, or in your knee, and then you knock them out for self-defense. Now, the next exercise I wanted to show you was the kettlebell, and I have two. And again, there's a link below if you want to see how to get a kettlebell, what the dimensions are, but I wanted to show you this one. This is 10 pounds, and you can get it in a 1 pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, all the way up to 150, 160 pounds. I don't think you need the 150 pounds. I don't think you need 60, 70, 80 pounds. You might. I like to do farmer's carries. That's part of the old man strength workout that we do, where you lift, you put 60 pounds in each hand and 120 pounds. You just walk down and back, practice putting them down, picking them up, speed up. That develops a lot of speed and strength. But I wanted to show you that you have options. If you're not as strong as you used to be, or you're not as strong as somebody else, don't get a big kettlebell, get a small kettlebell, because this is gonna work. Now with a kettlebell, you can do, I'm gonna grab the other one. You can see it's a lot more worn, because this is the one, this is my favorite one. I have heavier ones, I have much lighter ones, but this is my favorite. From here, one of your most basic things you can do with your feet apart, hold it with 2 hands, bend the knees, and push with your hips. Now you see that the kettlebell is coming away from your body, but you're not lifting it with your shoulders. Don't lift with your shoulders, you're gonna injure yourself. Let the motion of the body, that's the whole purpose here. I want you to build real strength in your strikes for knockout, for self-defense power. That's how you get stronger for self-defense at any age. Age is just a number. but it's the thrusting motion that's activating all the muscles from the bottom of your foot to the top of your head. And imagine pinching a quarter with your glutes, with your bum muscles. And I know some of you have heard that before. Try to picture pinching a penny or pinching a dime or whatever. But that's just so you can visualize activating your glutes. You need strong butt muscles for self-defense. And especially men. As we age, men, we get a flat rear, and that leads to all kinds of back problems and pain. And then you start shuffling around and your belly starts getting bigger. You start telling everybody, oh, I'm just getting old. Getting old's not for sissies or for wimps. That's not your age. It's the way you're not moving your body. So swing your kettlebell, start with the 5 or the 10 pound if you need to, and squeeze your glutes as you push up. That's the first exercise. The second one that I like to do the most is bend the knees and switch from one hand to the other one. Squeeze your stomach up and in, abs tight, bringing it up from side to side. And then, but go slowly at first. Don't lose your kettlebell and break your television. That's happened too. This thing comes flying out. Yeah, Seif says sitting long hours makes the glutes weak, exceptionally weak. Seif, it's bad for the heart, it's bad for the lungs, it's bad for the kidneys, sitting, but there's nothing worse than making your body a bunch of mushy jello than sitting for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. If you have to, because that's your job, take a lot of breaks. You can take a break, work on your computer, and do squats. Push your hips. That's why I want you to get your butt back behind your knees, is to activate those glutes. All right, so we had the side to side. Don't let go of it. My absolute favorite is what's called a speed skater, which is where you're letting the weight pull you, but then you have to fire the muscles in your butt to keep you from falling over. And so this is a real good one for glute activation. Your foot is just coming back, but don't bring it behind, just bring it straight back. So it goes the opposite hand, and you can watch this again, turn the sound off and slow it way down and see specifically or exactly what I'm doing if you want to get these exercises down, and then write them down and practice them. But you can do this again. You can watch this video again, slow it down, turn the sound off, unless you like the way it sounds when I talk slowly, and practice your speed skaters. Just one more. It's my favorite with the kettlebell. Pull your hands here, squeeze the bell like you're trying to pop it. You're gonna curl and press. And when you press, it's up and away. So you curl, press, in 45 seconds. Go for time under tension. If the bigger one's too heavy, use the smaller one, but start to move, start to do something. The last piece of equipment that I want to show you. Oh good, H says he's going to do this. Go buy some kettlebells. Yeah, I put the links below. I get all my kettlebells now from Amazon because shipping is on Prime, so I don't pay extra for it. I know I pay the Prime once a year. Yakri is not a huge muscular person. Yeah, but all this training improves. And you don't have to have big muscles. That's not what I want. I don't want you to think that you have to have big muscles in order to defend yourself. That has nothing to do with it. The best fighters that I've ever known are half as big as me. The ones that I don't want to fight. Especially, I had a brother growing up. He was half my size, and I never wanted to fight him because he was so vicious and mean, and he hit so much harder than anybody else ever hit. And it was because of the way he moved his body. And that's what you can learn how to do. A lot of people who've been around the world for a long time, who've been in self-defense situations or in fighting or street fighting, or whatever, will tell you it has nothing to do with the size of the person. In fact, the big muscle guys, a lot of times, the muscle, the big beard, the tattoos everywhere, those are all covering up something. And yeah, Nate says that's like me. A lot of that stuff that's outward, it's like the dog's bark, right? When the dog's barking at you, you don't have to worry, he's not gonna bite you usually. Yeah, and awkward casts, big guys are often slow. They're slow, they don't know how to fight, and they hide behind the muscle, they hide behind the tattoos, they hide behind the beard, they intimidate everybody who has no idea who they should really be afraid of. They should be afraid of the quiet, skinny guy in the corner who's just minding his own business and says, don't mess with me, right? Because that guy usually knows what he's talking about. He has a calm confidence. The other guys are really trying to push themselves. Yeah, Tony says trying to stay flexible and keep moving. Amen. That's all we had to do is keep moving, right? Stay flexible, keep moving. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you as far as the equipment goes is a sandbag. And this sandbag, people ask me all the time, how heavy is a sandbag? I don't know. I've never weighed it. I just know it's heavy. And it could be heavier because you can see there's more room to put more sand in. I had to take one of the bags out because I was the only one throwing this thing around. But I want you to get a sandbag if you have the interest to do that. You can also, before I had the sandbag, I just used an old gym bag. And I've used, when I was in the military, we didn't have a sandbag. Well, we had a lot of sandbags, but not this kind. But to train with, you just use a backpack. You stuff your backpack full of rocks or full of a combination of soft things on the outside, like clothes on the outside, rocks on the inside. Then you have a great piece of workout equipment. From here, you can simply pick it up and drop it. That's where you should start. And there are two ways to pick it up. One is by the material. That'll give you grip strength, strong, wicked strong grip for grappling and striking for self-defense. The other way is a lot of these come with straps. You can use the straps. Either way doesn't matter. But you're gonna pick it up and drop it. Do that for 45 seconds with any amount of weight in it, and you're getting the squatting motion plus the picking up motion. That's gonna get your heart rate up. You're gonna lean out faster and live longer. Yeah, cut one of the legs off, tied the end. Phil was saying, yes, backpacks are great, school bags. Get a cattle feed bag, Garen says. And yeah, Shane says some big guys have talent. Absolutely. Look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a massive, huge guy, and he'd break my neck off my face, right? There's no question that big guys can fight if they've been trained, and they can be explosive and fast and move and hit hard. Look at an NFL linebacker. Those guys are massive and they can move fast. Look at Greco-Roman wrestlers, or someone like college wrestlers, or big judo players, or big jiu-jitsu guys. Someone like Jocko Willink. Those guys are massive and they're fast, explosive, and they know how to fight. So you can't say that big guys don't know how to fight. What I'm saying is, don't think that you need to have big muscles in order to defend yourself. You don't. You just have to learn how to generate more power and get stronger for self-defense, because age is just a number, and you can get stronger for self-defense at any age. Now, from the sandbag here, roll it into your hands. This is just called a front-loaded squat. Push your hips back behind the knees, squeeze the glutes, push through your heels. As you come up, you can make it a pause on the bottom and an explosive move up to make it more specific for your self-defense training. From here, throw it on the shoulder, step in, get the other hand up. Always practice. I always imagine I gotta pick somebody up. There's some kind of disaster, catastrophe, maybe a terrorist group has exploded, a bomb, and I gotta scoop someone up, and I gotta get the other hand up because I'm gonna smash the face as I go through for self-defense. Sometimes that helps you intensify your workout. Just step in a lunge. You can also step back. You can do both in a workout. After you do one side, throw them down. They're knocked out anyway, right? Throw them on the other shoulder, take a step, do it on the other shoulder. My absolute favorite for you with this sandbag, when you're ready, don't do this from the start. This is when you've been training for a while and you feel super strong. You're gonna pick it up and throw it over the right shoulder and throw it over the left shoulder. What's gonna happen is all your muscles are gonna have to squeeze and fire at once as you heave and hoe. That's gonna give you that explosive striking elbow, back fist, knee, headbutt, self-defense strike power that you need for self-defense. But don't start with that. Start just by picking it up. Just put a couple of bottles, make sure the lid's on them really well, of water, big water bottles or jug of water or jug of sand inside an old backpack or school bag, book bag, and then use that. Practice, pick that up, put it on a shoulder, lunge, and then when you're ready, throw it over the shoulder. That's just one of many, many ways that you can get stronger with self-defense at any age, because age is just a number. Yeah, Garen says another great training tool, Swedish exercise ball. I'd show you, but it'd take too long. We've got so many, we got balls over there. We've got, you can see the row of kettlebells there. Got some dumbbells and some bars in the back. And I don't like to do the traditional workout. These are all for full body. Anytime you use the whole body to move. I like to do curl, squat, press with a bar. That's just to activate everything, because I want you to picture striking or fighting. I don't want to have muscle just to look. I want to have muscle that can help save my family. I know you want that too. You want muscle that saves yourself and saves your family. Ironman Kyokushin, one of my, Masoyama, one of my favorite instructors of all time. Masoyama was this Korean who went to Japan and assumed a Japanese name so he could do karate. He founded his own system, Kyokushin, where he would fight the bull and smash its horn off and crack its skull with his hand, and they kick through the baseball bats and through the, osu. Anyway, you guys have been awesome.